Hi everybody, it's Ethos from GameIlluminati.com, and I'm here with
Dan Nanni.
And what do you do, Dan?
I'm the lead designer on Lawbreakers.
All right, and I guess the biggest thing is what is Lawbreakers?
Sure, yeah, so it's a 5-on-5 vertical, crazy, gravity-based, we call it a role shooter, where you select your role on the battlefield. Every role has different abilities, different weapons, and you're fighting for control in different style of modes that will take place across the entire maps.
And so this is a first-person shooter, correct?
Oh yeah, it is.
So it's a first-person shooter. There's a lot of first-person shooters. Obviously, the question is, what makes Lawbreakers so different?
You know, we are fast, frantic, and vertical. I mean, one of the things that we have that we do with very well, we think, is we play in that vertical space a lot. It's not only about being in the ground, it's being in the sky. It's about moving really fast. It's super skill-based, and the diversity of our different roles that we have allow you to play different ways that you haven't seen before.
So how is it skill-based? Because a lot of people have different definitions of skill-based. Is this more of a tactical type of skill-based, or is this more of it's very fast-paced? So I'd say it's more the reign of arena shooter?
You know, I think it has that arena shooter in its DNA, right? But arena shooter can mean a lot of different things, weapon pickups and all that. We're not weapon pickup game. You pick up your role, the right one, and you spawn in. You'll have the right weapons and the right abilities right from the get-go, but you've got that speed. You have to be pinpoint accurate with your shots. Headshots from halfway across the map can be possible if you got the right role to do it. But at the same time, it's got that flavor of that arena shooter where you can carry your team. If your team's having a bad day, but you are a superstar today, you will bring your team to victory.
And what's the difference between all the characters? There's different characters you can play as, and each of them are different in their own way. They're not the same. And since this is sort of an arena shooter, but they have their own weapon loadouts, right? So it's not like you have to go get a new weapon, stuff like that. Or are there power weapons located somewhere else?
No powered weapons on the map that you can pick up. All the weapons are on them, and that's where we're just kind of taking that arena style from the past and kind of modernizing, bringing it up to our style that we would like to see in these games. And that's why it's not really an arena shooter. It has some feeling of it, but it's in its own place, right? It's got that hero feel, but at the same time, it's got a pacing and a strategy, more tactics, I'd say, strategy than anything else. And yeah, it's our flavor of it.
Is there bunny hopping?
Oh yeah, it's bunny hopping.
Can all of them bunny hop or just one?
Bunny hopping is based off of the momentum that you got in the map, right? The faster you go, the more we preserve it on that jump. So some of our characters can go really fast. They can get pushed by other characters that make them even faster. And then if you're in 0G, you can blind fire and go even faster on top of that. And if you land and you jump the right way, you'll start preserving those bounces forward.
So I played a little bit of this when it was closed alpha, like when it was first played it. What is the difference between that and now with this new PAX East, I guess, build? What's new? What's been added based off of feedback? So if someone who's played the game was like, not for me, something like that, what's a good reason they should get back into it and try it again?
So we've sped the game up even more since the original alphas. So the game plays faster, the abilities are faster, weapons are faster. We've given a little bit more range on some of our roles. At the same time, we filled in some gaps that we didn't have before. You know, we were struggling to figure out what does a sniper mean in our game? What does a medic mean in our game? And I think we were trying to sit too much on top of things that were already defined by other games. So we decided to do it our own way. And like our battle medic, she's battle and a medic. But she can fight, she can hold her own, she can send out her pet drones to 2 different people, simultaneously heal them while she commits to combat and fights. And she can take number 1 place simply because she's a badass healer and a combatant at the same time. So we've been adding more roles to fill in the gaps of gameplay. At the same time, just more content overall. You see more maps. We're going to introduce new modes in the future. We've got our customization going in really soon. You can actually see that in the beta. So you can customize the way your character looks, the weapons that they look, all that.
So it's called Lawbreakers because obviously, like, I get it, you're breaking the law of gravity, but some people think it's law, but it's actually the gravity. It's really cool. So how? What's the gravity mechanic? Is it more of just a little gimmick, or is it actually like involved within the actual game?
You know, it really plays into our verticality. If we didn't have the zero gravity throughout our maps, we really wouldn't be going high or low. You wouldn't be playing in those play spaces that keep the game up all the time, right? So we have gravity that's inside of our maps, and every map is a little different, so you got to learn the gravity pockets for those maps. Some of our maps don't have any floors, so you have to be floating and flying all the time. Other maps are more solid, interior, exterior, so we kind of mix it up that way. But then at the same time, we give that power to our players. You got a Vanguard who decides to slam in with her Starfall, and suddenly she creates a 0G pocket in an area of the map that there was no 0G before, and suddenly everybody has to start flying. She's great at flying in the air, and everybody else might not be. So now the play space changes. What you thought was on the ground is now up in the skies, and you got to start adapting to that style.
And this is PC exclusive?
Right now we are just announcing on PC. We're doing our best to ship it on a platform that we can master. Not master, but you know, we're doing our best as possible for one platform, and then we'll see where that goes.
Is it possible this will be on the Switch?
I would say, I'm never going to say never, but the probability is a little lower.
So why? What's the difficulty with this way? Is it just the multiplayer is kind of about right now, or is it just because it's a new platform and people are trying to fill it out?
I don't think we've done enough research to know whether or not we pull it off. But we're frame rate junkies and we're high res junkies, and if we're not pushing over 100 frames per second, our CEO is not happy.
So you guys like the whole like 1440 hertz, fast, fresh monsters, everything?
Yeah, 1440.
Okay, good. I like that.
Sorry, 144 hertz.
144 hertz. That's good. So I guess for the final question would be your favorite character in the game, and also a character that a new player should feel most at home if they they play other shooters.
That's actually a really interesting question. We found that it really depends on the player. The assassin is really fun. She swings around the map like Spider-Man.
I liked her. Yeah.
She's really cool. And we found that console gamers like to play her because you don't have to worry about that hard aim down the sights, headshots. I can, as long as I master mobility, I get right into the mix, right? But a gunslinger is a pretty fun class. He's a harder one to pull over, and if you can master that headshot and the balance between both of his guns and the teleport, the verticality and the precision gameplay that he pulls in is pretty fun. And then also from a personal standpoint, this character is gonna be really fun for the lore. They add a lot of story to the game, and I can't wait to start getting into that.
So is there a story, or is it more just like lore and we're just gonna fill it out?
There's a full-on story. We were going all the way in.
So we're gonna have like a campaign? Story campaign?
No, there's no campaign. It's a multiplayer-only game. But we wanted to make sure that there was an actual story in the multiplayer. It's not just a bunch of guys fighting against each other. There's a reason why.
There's purpose.
Exactly.
Right.
There's a reason why we made it so our characters look different from both sides. The Law looks one way, the Breakers look another way. The gameplay is the same, but we want to make sure that there's actually a true character and reason and purpose for them to be.
The final question, I guess, because I said final, but the actual final is this is free to play, right? Or is it going to be pay to play?
No, it's pay to play. We're going to be a premium price. It's not going to be $60. We haven't announced it just yet, but we don't want players. We just don't want players to worry about, oh, here comes a new map, I gotta buy it, or here's a new role or gameplay or weapon, I gotta buy it.
So there'll be free updates, no DLC.
Yeah, you buy the game, the gameplay is gonna be free for life. We're gonna be cosmetic driven. If somebody wants to buy some crates to get new character skins or new weapon skins, that's great. We'll ask for that, but that's not what we're gonna ask for gameplay. We're not gonna ask you to pay any more money on top of it.
Characters, maps, stuff like that. Just give it. Just give it to the community.
As soon as we have a new character, new role, new map, new mode, we're just gonna let you download it as long as you bought the game.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you guys want to see more about Lawbreakers, you can check out GameIlluminati.com. Also, where can they go to register for the beta?
You can go to lawbreakers.com to register for that beta.
All right. Thank you. See you guys later. Peace out.